what happens when you recognize that cycles are continued through pain that people have experienced themselves? Because essentially that's what happened. I recognized that the pain that was being recreated in my son's and my life, my family's life, was being recreated from somebody that had also experienced that pain. And I really had to question why anyone would do that when they know how it feels themselves. Which then put me in a situation where I had to move forward and choose whether or not I would be one of those people who held on to that pain and allow for the expression of it to come out into the world and treat people horribly because of my pain, or if I would choose differently for myself and my son. That was an instant responsibility that I took on the moment that I became aware of that cycle and asked those questions. And this is how the natural unfolding of our soul journey occurs. It comes from asking the questions that have created the pains, that have created the misalignment in our reality with how we feel inside. And when we ask questions and we are given answers, that makes us responsible then for how we are going to operate in the world and exchange our energy. We are then asked to find ways and pathways forward as an example for others that haven't been able to find their way out. And so this is the unfolding of the remembering of self. My awakening came instantaneously. Some people's awakening takes some time and then they start remembering who they are. Because my awakening was so shocking and it was instantaneous in the way that my reality and the way that I thought and felt and believed, everything that I knew in an instant was gone. Therefore, everything that I believed in was gone. Everything that I knew to be true and felt became an illusion in an instant. And so I was in this in-between world where there was nothing to gain and there was nothing to lose. There was excruciating pain inside of me that I needed to understand how I was going to live feeling like this, and I knew that I couldn't. It pushed me to the edge. It took me to places where all I could do was surrender. And so that was the next part of the journey. After I was given the opportunity to understand that I had a choice now to move forward and operate from fear and pain and continue that cycle, or find a new way of navigating this situation to try and bring myself back into a state of peace in my mind. And because I am who I am, I naturally was able to do that. I was naturally able to move forward and see through a lens of unconditional love for myself. And then see the world through that same lens. But just like that answer came through asking the questions, every step of the way over that 3-year period that took me to the core of my being, to the core of my essence, to that realm that I call home, and where everyone and everything is connected, and where we can communicate telepathically with all life forms and understand the energetic expressions that are emanating from all life forms without any words. Every question led to an answer that led to an expansion in my consciousness, an expanded understanding, a different perception, or different ones that I never even knew existed or could have ever imagined. This journey led from my heart and my trust in myself, allowed me to see the truths beyond the illusions. I was quite distraught for some time as I moved through this process. And as you can imagine, when you have a brain that visualizes everything and that doesn't stop and constantly is running on questions and wanting to know the processes of things and the core meaning of everything, it was a very intense time. But I was able to utilize that pain to push me further inside of myself. And I utilized that pain to create a pathway into my heart. And with every question that I asked, why, and was fed an answer, I could see through that lens of unconditional love, which overrided the emotion that was being experienced in Earth realm as a human experience. And that's when I was able to also understand how we become observers of our reality and of our human experiences.